All right. Hi, everybody. Dan Rother at Top Student Athlete Recruiting. You may have seen on your profiles that version 3 from Productive Recruit, which is the platform that hosts our Top Student Athlete Recruiting player profiles, has been updated. There's some new updates. It's just, very much the same platform, just a little bit easier use and a few new bells and whistles that make it a little bit better for helping you in recruiting. Platform is your, you know, profile that we send out to coaches and you send out to coaches, but it's also, a portal that helps you keep track of everything you're doing in your recruiting. It's where you can email coaches. It's where I can see what you're doing with coaches and any contacts you've had, and also a place where you can look at colleges and um, check out different colleges that might fit your needs and your priorities, and find out their coach's contact information, find out everything about the school, find out about the soccer program, um, and so on. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick, the new version. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get going. All right, so you see my screen here. This is the dashboard. This is my fake profile. Um, basically this is the recent activity, right? So I favorited some schools. If a coach has looked at your profile, that will show up there. If um, you've emailed the coach, that will show up there. So that's nice to keep track of. You can put notes in there, with a particular college. So if you put a note in with Adrian College, I would see that, but it also helps you keep track of what coaches are saying to you and those types of things. So I would keep track of that and do your best in that area. So this is kind of your basic dashboard. It shows your profile views. So how many coaches have looked at your profile? Again, this is a fake profile, so nobody's done that. Programs have contacted, how many coaches you've emailed, programs you've favorited. You should have 30 or so. Um, at least for my clients, should have at least 30 schools that you start with as a beginning point. So let's go to profiles and talk about that. This is where you can edit your profiles, where you can share your profile. First, we'll talk about sharing your profile. This is the URL of your profile. You can email it, you can text it to coaches. I think it's great it comes off looking pretty slick when you send it out to coaches. So this is what it would look like when a coach receives it, right? Um, they can look through it. The video's up front and center. Your contact information, athletic information, your additional stats, personal statement, school address. You can even put your transcripts in there if you're looking at schools that want to see your transcripts. Um, you put your academic situation, all that kind of stuff. This isn't 100% complete, but that's kind of what it looks like from a outsider's perspective. What the live profile looks like. Um, Within there, you can edit it and do some different things. So now I'm into the edit part, your picture, your birthday, all that stuff, your main things, your about me is kind of like your personal statement. Commitment, I wouldn't worry about that. That's just when you commit to a college. It shows who you committed to. Videos, you can add your videos, new highlight videos, full game video links, those types of things. That's important in that process. Your contact information, obviously, your email and phone number are important. Coaches want to get a hold of you. And you don't have to worry about, your phone number being public or anything like that. Only the coaches that get these profiles are going to see that. Um, your coach's phone numbers, your parents, put my stuff in there as your recruiting coordinator, all that kind of thing is available. Your athletic information, what position you played, things like that. Academics, your events is your schedule. Put your current schedule up to date. You can put a link to it, a URL, or you can do, straight up just have each game, whatever that might be. Press links, that's any articles in a newspaper maybe that you were involved in. I don't know if that's a huge necessity. I don't think it changes your recruiting. offers. I don't know that's a big deal either, to put the number of offers you have in there, from other schools as you get into that. And then photos, not a real big deal either. It's not going to help you get recruited by having more photos in your profile. Um, Colleges, right? So let's look at colleges, right? So we have a uh, access to a filter program. You can pick schools based on maybe division, right? Maybe I'm going to look at Division 2 schools. Um, I want to look at schools in the far west. You can do it by state as well. Schools that within a certain radius of your house, distance from a zip code, right? Academics. What's the GPA? What major are you looking for? Let's look for schools with accounting and computer science on the west coast that are Division 2. I don't think that's 100% accurate. There's only 2 schools that meet that profile. Sounds accounting is a pretty popular major. I think there'd be quite a few more. It looks like there's 26 Division 2s that kind of fit that profile. So there's a lot more if you just took the accounting piece out, but there's a lot more that have accounting. There's no question about it. I'm going off track. You can go by cost, size, type of school, those types of things. Let's just pick Azusa Pacific, right? Um, you can look at the coaches. Or first, you can look at the program information. You can click on the website. It goes straight to men's soccer or women's soccer, and you can actually look at the program. You don't have to go searching through everything. So that's really neat. You can look at the roster, where players from, those types of things. There's a lot of look about the coaches, all that kind of stuff. So checking all that stuff out is nice to be able to have quick access to it. You can see where all their players are from and those types of things. Their their questionnaire, you can go to that if you want to fill that out. I don't know if that's necessary for sending emails. Academic website, their Facebook page, if they have other social media pages. This is all the information about the average student. Average GPA is 3.74 from high school, 22 ACT, more about the metrics of the school, the cost, potential costs for your family, those types of things, the diversity, and then similar soccer programs, similar men's soccer programs. So that's kind of cool. You can say, oh, I kind of like this school. So what other schools might be kind of like that? That's a neat feature. Coaches, you can go here and get their contact information. Here's the name of the coach, Dave Blomquist, right? His email. This is a phone number. It's typically going to be probably an office phone number. Coaches aren't going to give away their cell phone numbers and just get inundated with texts from recruits until they're serious about you. It might have multiple contacts for staff. This one doesn't seem to have any assistant coaches. Majors, you can go through and look at the majors each school has. This is pretty in depth here, right? There's 32 majors in accounting. This is that median annual earnings for the majors from that school. This is the median debt that each student at that school takes. So it gets pretty in depth, which is pretty cool. It gives you a little more insight into the school and what you're going to get into. Um, Emails. This is where you can send emails out to the college coaches, right? So you can send an email. If I want to send an email to the staff at Azusa Pacific, um, he's the only coach listed. If there were assistants, I'd put them in there as well. You put your subject in. This is an automatic signature, which is in the settings part, which I'll show you in a minute. But then you just start, you type your email, you can copy and paste it and use it on other emails and make a template. Again, I want to personalize each email a little bit, but you get the point, and you're able to do that. You hit send, and it goes straight from your productive recruit. I always have a link to my profile and video and contact information, but you can send it out, and that coach gets it. They'll start sending you back and forth. The return from a go to your direct, Gmail or regular email account. It won't go back to the Productive Recruit. So you'll see it in your email. Um, Tasks are things you can write to yourself, like, hey, reach out to Coach Blumquist in a month. He said get back to him in a month to see what's happening, or things like that. And then it will pop up as kind of an alert. notes. You can keep track of what coach said to you or what the responses maybe you got or a phone call you had. Activity is, if you had a visit to campus or a call with a coach, you can log a campus visit. You can log a phone call, those types of things. There's a lot of choices in there, right? So, all these different things you can do is checking in with keeping track of things for your program or for your recruiting. Favorites, right? You want to add favorites. So you as you start them, if I'm in the colleges, all right, and I'm looking at Susan Pacific and I heart them, right? They become a favorite. All right. My favorites, and then initial contact sent maybe because I'm going to send them an email. I can keep track of them, and then as I go into my favorites, right here. Um, you have to do 30 of these for me when you get to that point if you haven't done that already. And it's always good to update your list and take schools on and off and rearrange the order. But if I go to my favorites, I see the colleges on my list. There's a Susan Pacific. I just added them. Maybe they're my top choice. I can move them to the top of the list. Um, right here. Um, I can move them up. Yeah, slide them up there, right? And now they're at the top of the list or second or third. And I initial contact sent, so I know that you can change the status when you go into it, but you can kind of rank them. I think that's helpful in your process to kind of rank the schools that you're interested in. But it's a nice feature to be able to follow up with coaches and know what schools you're interested in and get rid of some schools as you go through the process if they're not interested, if you're not interested, those types of things. Recommendations is where I can recommend some schools. I usually do that via email. Um, Sending you a text of some other schools. Um, Checklists and tasks. Checklists is just things that I used to send out checklists of the next steps in the process, right? What you should be doing based on X, Y, Z, or the timing of the year, and those types of things. I do that via email. It's just doesn't get lost in the shuffle. A lot of times these get lost on the checklist tabs. So we've kind of gotten away from that because it's more efficient to do it via email. Tasks, same thing. Hey, follow up with coach. What are you doing next? Those types of things. As we get really specific with a school, um, I'll send you an email and text about that. Settings, the only thing in settings that really becomes terribly important is the email setting is the signature, right? So you can have this signature that's on every email you send out, and you can make that there. That's the email address a coach would reply to. Um, when they hit reply to your email, it'll go to that email. So it should be your main personal email. Learn is just some tutorials from Productive Recruit, which is our platform supplier. Um, and really that's about it in the profile in version 3. So I suggest playing around with it, seeing for yourself how it helps you getting comfortable in there. It's very nice to be able to keep track of everything, to send out an updated profile. I'm sending your profile out on a lot, and when I send it out to coaches, I having an up to date profile is very important. Um, so hopefully that helps and gets you going with things. If you're not a particular client of mine, but you work in a club, you're on a club, whether that I support, this stuff all applies to you, minus me sending out your emails or your profile to college coaches and things like that. So, if there are any questions, you want set up a meeting with me for one reason or another to game plan, or if you're not a current client, you want to learn more, feel free to reach out and we'll go from there. Have a great day.